Hello, Michael here. Looking today at Psalm 71 for our devotion. And we're going to be focusing on the first three verses for the exposition and looking at how Spurgeon does this from the Treasury of David. He first starts by talking about the title of this psalm and comes to the conclusion that we have here the prayer of the aged believer, who in holy confidence of faith, strengthened by a long and a remarkable experience, pleads against his enemies and asks further blessings for himself. Anticipating a gracious reply, he promises to magnify the Lord exceedingly. Let's now go ahead and read the first three verses of Psalm 71. Verse 1. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. Verse 2. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thy ear unto me, and save me. And verse 3. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. And as we turn to the Treasury of David for the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 2 again. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thine ear unto me, and save me. Spurgeon pens. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Be true, O God, to thy word. It is a righteous thing in thee to keep the promise which thou hast made unto thy servants. I have trusted thee, and thou wilt not be unrighteous to forget my faith. I am taken as in a net, but do thou liberate me from the malice of my persecutors. Incline thy ear unto me, and save me. Stoop to my feebleness, and hear my faint whispers. Be gracious to my infirmities, and smile upon me. I ask salvation. Listen thou to my petitions, and save me. Like one wounded and left for dead by mine enemies, I need that thou bend over me and bind up my wounds. These mercies are asked on the plea of faith, and they cannot therefore be denied. And then verse 3 that reads, Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Spurgeon pens. Be thou my strong habitation. Permit me to enter into thee, and be as much at home as a man in his own house, and then suffer me to remain in thee as my settled abode. Whereas foes molest me, I need a dwelling framed and bulwarked, to sustain a siege and resist the attacks of armies. Let then thy omnipotence secure me, and be as a fortress unto me. Here we see a weak man, but he is in a strong habitation. His security rests upon the tower in which he hides, and is not placed in jeopardy through his personal feebleness. Whereunto I may continually resort. Fast shutting is this castle against all adversaries. Its gate they cannot burst open. The drawbridge is up. The portcullis is down. The bars are fast in their places. But there is a secret door by which friends of the great Lord can enter at all hours of the day or night, as often as ever they please. There is never an hour when it is unlawful to pray. Mercy gates stand wide open, and shall do so till at the last the master of the house has risen up and shut to the door. Believers find their God to be their habitation, strong and accessible, and this is for them a sufficient remedy for all the ills of this mortal life. Thou hast given commandment to save me. Nature is charged to be tender with God's servants. Providence is ordered to work their good, and the forces of the invisible world are ordained as their guardian. David charged all his troops to spare the young man, Absalom, but yet he fell. God's commandment is of far higher virtue, for it compels obedience and secures its end. Destruction cannot destroy us. Famine cannot starve us, but we laugh at both, while God's mandate shields us. No stones of the field can throw us down, while angels bear us up in their hands. Neither can the beasts of the field devour us, while David's God delivers us from their ferocity, or Daniel's God puts them in awe of us. For thou art my rock and my fortress. In God we have all the security which nature, which furnishes the rock, and art which builds the fortress, could supply. He is the complete preserver of his people. Immutability may be set forth by the rock, and omnipotence by the fortress. Happy is he who can use the personal pronouns my, not only once, but as many times as the many aspects of the Lord may render desirable. Is he a strong habitation? I will call him my strong habitation, and he shall be my rock, my fortress, my God, my hope, my trust, my praise. All mine shall be his, all his shall be mine. This was the reason why the psalmist was persuaded that God had commanded his salvation, namely, because he had enabled his to exercise a calm and appropriating faith. Yes, Jesus, you see me, you know me. Lord, without you, I'm nothing. Thank you, Lord, for being my fortress and my rock. Trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.